10 Things that turn women off from men, a Stoic perspective. In a world where men are constantly trying to figure out what attracts women, we often overlook something simple but powerful. What turns women off? Men put so much effort into playing the game, trying to meet women's expectations, but fail to recognize the behaviors that can instantly make them unattractive. But here's the truth. It's not about what you do on the surface, but what's happening inside. Today, we'll break down the 10 things that often turn women off from men, and more importantly, we'll explore how Stoic philosophy offers us a powerful solution. Along the way, we'll draw inspiration from timeless thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and explore how Stoic philosophy can help you become a better, more confident man. 1. Neediness and over-attention. First, let's talk about neediness. We've all been there, texting too often, waiting for that reply, and seeking attention every chance we get. It feels like love, right? But in reality, neediness is a massive turnoff for women. Why? Because it comes from a place of insecurity. The Stoics remind us that self-worth must come from within. When you depend on someone else's approval for your self-esteem, you've already lost. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you're constantly chasing after validation, you're giving away your inner peace. And women can sense this. Instead of seeking attention, focus on mastering yourself, your goals, and your values. When you don't need external validation, you become someone worth respecting, someone women want to be around. Be self-sufficient, and the rest will follow. 2. Insecurity and low self-esteem. Next, let's talk about insecurity. This is another massive turnoff. Low self-esteem shows up in hesitation, doubt, and lack of confidence. It's exhausting for women to be with someone who doesn't believe in themselves. The Stoic wisdom of Epictetus teaches us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you let insecurity dictate your behavior, you're not in control. Take back your power by knowing your worth comes from within, not from the approval of others. 3. Lack of purpose or direction. One of the biggest turnoffs? Lack of purpose. A man without a mission is like a ship without a rudder. Women are drawn to men with a sense of direction, a mission that excites them. Seneca once wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." This speaks directly to the heart of self-mastery. A man without a purpose doesn't have the drive, the passion, or the focus to make an impact. Women want someone who's living with intention. When you're living a life driven by purpose, everything else falls into place. 4. Arrogance and ego. Now, let's address arrogance. Too much confidence can easily morph into arrogance, and that's a major turnoff. Women don't want to be with someone who's constantly boasting, acting like they have everything figured out. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But that doesn't mean arrogance. It means having control over your actions, your presence, your energy. Confidence is quiet, humble. Arrogance shouts to cover up insecurity. Let your strength speak for itself. 5. Desperation and people-pleasing. Women can also tell when a man is desperate for attention, desperate for validation. When you become a people-pleaser, you lose your power. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." Be yourself without seeking to please anyone. People-pleasing is rooted in fear of rejection. The Stoics show us that when you live in accordance with your own values, you no longer need to seek approval. Women will respect you for being authentic, not for trying to win their approval. 6. Emotional instability. Emotional instability is another behavior that repels women. Mood swings, overreactions, or volatility in relationships make women feel uncomfortable and unpredictable. The Stoics prized emotional control. Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Emotional control is not about suppressing emotions, but about responding to them with wisdom and calmness. Women respect men who remain steady no matter the storm. Master your emotions, and you'll see how your presence naturally attracts women. 7. Lack of integrity and honesty. Nothing is more attractive than a man who lives with integrity and honesty. But the moment you begin to lie, cheat, or deceive, you lose respect. Machiavelli warned against appearing weak, and integrity is one of the strongest qualities a man can possess. Be transparent, be honest, and stay true to your word. Women are drawn to men who keep their promises and lead by example. 8. Lack of social intelligence. Social intelligence is crucial for building meaningful connections. If a man lacks the ability to read the room or misses social cues, it becomes exhausting for a woman to engage. The Stoics teach us that self-awareness isn't enough. Empathy, the ability to understand and connect with others' feelings, is vital. Women appreciate men who understand them, who can hold meaningful conversations, and who know when to make a joke or when to be serious. 9. Being overly available. Over-availability is another turn-off. If you're constantly available, chasing a woman or putting her above everything else, it sends the wrong message. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." This isn't about manipulation. It's about maintaining your own life, your own priorities, and your own independence. Women find men who don't prioritize them above everything else more intriguing. When you are distracted by your purpose, you become more desirable. 10. Lack of personal hygiene and self-care. Lastly, one of the most overlooked yet crucial turn-offs. Lack of personal hygiene and self-care. The Stoics believed that our bodies are a gift, and how we treat them reflects our inner discipline. When you neglect your health, you're saying that you don't value yourself. Self-care is not vanity. It's about respecting your body, maintaining discipline, and honoring your life. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When you take care of your body, it shows you take care of your mind and soul as well. Conclusion: becoming the Stoic man. So, what's the solution? The Stoic way. By embracing self-reliance, authenticity, and emotional control, we can avoid these turn-offs and become the men who naturally attract women, not through games or manipulation, but through true self-mastery. The Stoic teachings aren't just for ancient philosophers. They're for the modern man who wants to build strong relationships, master his emotions, and live with purpose. Master yourself and everything else will follow. Outro music fades in. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom on becoming the best version of yourself. What's the biggest turnoff you've noticed in men, and how do you think Stoicism can help change that? Let me know in the comments below.